Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Danica and this is my lovely assistant Vita. And today we have a very gentle yoga practice for your hips, for hip mobility. So this will be extremely beginner friendly. I'm going to show you how to use 2 blocks and a blanket in this practice, but if you don't have yoga props, you can do everything without them. Don't even worry about it. When you're ready, let's get started. So if you have anything going on with your knees, it might be nice to have a blanket on your mat for underneath of your knees. So place it there if you're using it. Bring your knees just a little bit wider than your hips. Toes come together. Sink your hips towards your heels. Walk your hands forward into a child's pose. You can also stack your hands and bring your forehead to your hands. Just taking a moment here at the beginning of the practice to arrive. So slowing down and deepening the breath. Let's take one more deep breath here. And a slow breath out. And then you'll gently inhale to lift up onto hands and knees in a tabletop. Bring your right hand to the left front corner of your mat. Keep it there, but start to sink your hips towards your heels, bringing your left forearm to the floor. Your hips might not touch your heels, and that's okay. You're just trying to feel a stretch throughout the right side of your body. And breathe into that place. Take one more breath. And then we'll inhale to come back up to tabletop. Take a deep breath here. And out. Left hand to the right front corner. As you sink your hips back towards your heels, lower your right hand to the floor. And breathe. One more deep breath in and out. Inhale to come back up to tabletop. This time keeping your hips in the air, stacked over your knees. As you walk your hands forward, melt your heart down into a puppy pose. Take a deep breath in. And a slow breath out. One more. Inhale, lifting back up into tabletop. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Start to take your hips towards your right heel and over to your left and back up and around. So taking a few little hip circles. They can be as big or as small as you need them to be today. But try to stay connected to your breath. Reversing the direction. Last one. And coming back up into your tabletop. Shift your weight over into your left knee, and we're going to bring the right hip to stack on top of the left. So that is whatever that means to you. It doesn't have to be 130%. We're just trying to find some movement here in your right hip. So your toes are trying to pull back behind you as you're opening up through the front right hip. Take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. Bring your right knee out to the right, and then we're going to drop it down towards the left knee and around in a circle. So moving very slowly here, and if this is hard for you, just know that this is hard for most humans, and that's why we gotta do it. Go ahead and reverse the direction of your hip circle. And then we'll come to stack that hip on top of the left again. One more breath. Straighten your right leg. Bring the hips level with each other. Bring the right toes to the ground. Curl the toes under and press through the right heel. And as you inhale, roll over the toes, come to the top of the feet, shift forward. And then roll over the toes, press through the heel again. A few more times. And then we'll pause. Slide your right foot out to the side, bringing the sole of the foot to the floor, but have your toes out at about a 45-degree angle. Leg is straight. As you inhale, drop your belly down, reach your heart forward and through your arms. And as you exhale, you're going to come back to a neutral spine and start to sink your hips towards your left heel. And then inhale, coming back into your cow pose with your upper body. And exhale, start to sink your hip towards your heel. A few more rounds. Last one. And then coming back up, you might need to turn your toes out just a little bit more. We're going to sink into a lunge-like position with your right leg, walking your hands towards your right foot to whatever degree makes sense for you so that you can sink down into this side lunge. And you can flow in and out of this lunge if this feels like a lot right away, or you can stay in stillness. Just breathe. Try to unclench your jaw. One more deep breath here. And very gently start to edge out of that lunge. We'll slide the right leg back behind you all the way around onto the left side of the mat. With the toes curled under, press through the heel of the foot. Look over your left shoulder towards your right heel. Breathe into the right side of your body. Come back to neutral with your spine, and we're going to bring that right knee behind your left. So nuzzle it in behind your left knee, and then swing your shins out just a little bit. Keeping the toes curled under of the right foot, we're going to start to sink our hips towards our heel. Your left knee will lift up off of the ground, and that's okay. You can bring your forearms to the mat, or you can stay on your hands. Take a few deep breaths here. You should feel a stretch in the outer left hip. Soften your jaw. And then we'll inhale to come back up. Uncross the knees. Inhale, drop your belly down, reach your heart forward and through into your cow pose. And exhale, round the spine into your cat pose. Do this a few more rounds with your own breath. And then we'll meet back in our tabletop. Shifting the weight over into your right knee as you stack that left hip on top of the right. To whatever degree makes sense to you, take a deep breath here. And then we'll bring that knee out to the left, down towards the right knee, and back up again. A few hip circles, moving at your own speed. Reversing the direction. Last one. And then we'll stack the hip once again. Take a deep breath here. Straighten your leg back behind you. Bring the hips level. Curl your left toes under, pressing through the heel of the foot. And then rock forward as you roll over your toes. A few times like that. And then we'll meet back in stillness. We're going to bring your left foot all the way over to the left. Sole of the foot on the floor. Toes pointing out at like a 45-degree angle-ish, whatever feels best for you and your body. And as you inhale, reach your heart forward and through, lift your gaze. And as you exhale, start to sink your hips towards your heel. Moving with your own breath. At your own speed, and only going until you feel sensation. You don't need to go 130%. Last one. We'll meet back in tabletop with our body. You can resituate your toes however you need so that you can shift into that lunge, walking your hands towards your left foot to whatever degree. Let your hips sink down and over to the left. Unclench your jaw and breathe. Last deep breath here. And then we'll edge slowly out of your lunge. Slide your toes back behind you all the way around on the right side. Toes curled under, press through the heel. Look back over your right shoulder. Breathe into the left side of your body. Come back to neutral with your upper body and then nuzzle your left knee in behind your right again. Your shins can come out a little bit wider. You can keep your bottom toes curled under as you sink your hips back towards your heels. Bringing the forearms to the ground or keep the arms lifted. Your right knee is going to lift up off the floor. Breathe. On your next inhale, coming all the way back up into your tabletop, uncrossing the knees. If you're using blocks, we can grab them now. If you're not, that's okay. You can still do everything. So we're going to bring this right foot forward all the way over towards the right edge of the mat, and then walk your back knee back a little bit so that you can sink down into a lizard lunge. And if you're using the blocks, you can stay up on your hands, and you can just work on letting your hips settle down and forward. Or you can come onto the forearms on your block or on the floor, and maybe the outer edge of your right foot, letting your right knee fall over towards the right, and letting your left hip sink down towards the floor. or you can absolutely just stay in stillness if this is already a lot for you. And if you're using the blocks and this is a lot, sometimes it's helpful to have them up on their highest height. We'll be here for about 3 more breaths, so see if you can relax in your face, relax in your jaw. Let your shoulders soften. Take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. Last one. We'll come back onto your hands if you're not already there, and start to straighten your leg as you shift your hips back. If you're using blocks, you can bring them on the highest height, closer towards your body. Come onto the heel of your right foot, and then draw your right hip back so it's in line with the left, and then try to extend up and out of your hips as you reach your heart forward. Just take one deep breath here. And then very gently slide that knee back. And then we'll do it all again on the opposite side. So bring your left foot towards the front left edge of the mat. Blocks can be on whatever height. Walk your back knee back just a little bit so you can sink your hips down and forward. And we all have a problem child side, so this side could be easier or this side could be more difficult. So if you need to stay on your hands, stay on your hands. If you want, you can drop down onto your forearms. Again, you can come onto the outer edge of your left foot and let your left knee fall open as you drop your right hip down. Or you can stay still. Soften your face, soften your jaw. Relax in your shoulders. And breathe. Take one more deep breath here. Coming back onto your hands if you're not already there. Very slowly and gently straightening the front leg, shifting your hips back a little bit. You can come onto the highest height for your blocks. Heels stamped to the floor. Draw your left hip back in line with your right. Extend out from your hips as you reach your heart forward and breathe. Just one more breath here. And then very gently we'll slide that knee back. You can set your blocks off to the side if you've been using them. And we'll make our way into a seat. If you have really tight hips, it can be helpful to roll your blanket up to create a higher shelf for your hips, and then your hips can tilt forward more, and that gives you some more space. Extending the legs long in front of you with your knees bent quite a lot. Inhale, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, we're going to fold forward. You can grab a hold of your feet, of your ankles, wherever you reach. But keep a generous bend in the knees. As you drape your body over your legs, you can let the spine round. Breathing into the back of your body. On your next inhale, very, very slowly start to roll up your spine vertebrae by vertebrae. Extend your right leg long, and we're going to cross the left foot over the right. Finding a lot of length in the spine, reaching your right arm up towards the sky. And as you exhale, loop it around your left knee, left fingertips back behind you. A lot of length as you very gently twist to the left, maybe looking back over your left shoulder. Take one more deep breath in. And as you exhale, unwinding, extending the left leg, cross the right leg over. Find a lot of length in the spine, reach your left arm up, and then we'll wrap it around the right knee, right fingertips behind you, lengthen and twist to the right, looking back over your right shoulder. Taking one more deep breath here. And exhale, unwinding. Finding a comfortable seat for just a moment. Legs crossed or extended, closing the eyes. Just taking a moment to notice how you're feeling right now. And know that the benefits of yoga practices tend to keep revealing themselves as the day goes on. On your next inhale, reach your shoulders up towards your ears. And exhale, roll them down the back. Blinking your eyes open. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you come back again. And if you like this class, please consider subscribing and hanging out for a while. I would love to have you here. Thanks for being here. Namaste.